Hey everyone, today I want to show you something really cool what you can do with Manta, and I'm actually referring to a video that I made lately, which was my 808 subscriber special, in which I showed you how to make an 808-ish bass line from any kick drum by using bandpass filters. But first of all I want to show you this beat.
Let's go!
And so on. So yeah, we have our kick drum here. On the kick drum I also use Manta, by the way, but only for the ploppiness, which is not the most fancy use case of Manta ever. But check this out. We have a send track here, and send tracks in Bitwig work by starting with an audio receiver that receives the audio from a different track. So it's more like a receive track in Bitwig. It works the other way around than in most DAWs. Just so you know what this is. This is the send track. And well, we have Manta on it, and of course a little bit of compression after it, but that's not so interesting. And we have an automation. So check out what's happening now. So yeah, that's what's happening, and now I will show you how you can recreate this yourself or make something similar, I don't know. So yeah, first of all, you have to instantiate a new instance of Manta, and you have to set it to mute dry, because then it will mute the dry input signal, which makes sense on a send track, of course. Now if you play that back, you already hear that it sounds somewhat like an 808 from the init preset already. Now you just turn off the other two filters by right clicking after having them selected. Then you select the first filter again, and you just find a frequency that works for you. In my case that is F1. That seems to be the base frequency of, well, this beat. And now I turn on the other filters again and also try to find good sounds for the harmonics. It doesn't all have to be the same note, so these two were Fs and this one is a C. I just feel like that makes sense now. Now these upper two harmonics, they don't have to be as long as the lower one. By increasing the slope you can make them longer, and also by dragging up the resonance, but it's a different type of longer. It has a bit of a different feel, so you have to find a good balance of that. And then you can turn down the volume a little bit on those. And then you can subtly try to enhance the length of the bass frequency a little bit. Adding slope to one of the filters always feels a bit like adding pre-delay to it, which can be useful in this case with the kick, because then it goes out of the way of the kick itself. And yeah, that feels very natural to me. Now let's dial in some feedback on all of them together. That sounds pretty good, but not too much on the low end. Okay, that's cool. It actually adds a little bit to the kick itself now. Now the next thing that I want to try is adding a bit of heat. Maybe actually a bit more resonance again. Yeah, now we can start getting creative here. For example, we could dial in the ring modulation or phase distortion. Octave that thing. Now that you have the basic sound down, the next thing you want to probably know is how to make it melodic. Well, that's actually quite easy. You just have to touch all the filters, then turn on the macro knob and then dial in some pitch until you have reached the maximum of the range that you will need. For example, 1 octave, like in my case, or you could try 2 octaves if you need that. And now that you have, found the maximum, you notice that the sounds became a little bit shorter there. So you could also dial in more resonance on the higher macro values if you want to. Ah, fuck. That reminds me, I should add undo buttons at some point, but I haven't figured that out yet. Alright, so now you could start writing automation for that by just automating the macro knob. And as you can see, the cool thing about this technique of making 808s is that you just get a seamless transition on all of your pitch slides by just defining them in automation itself, and you can use all the features of your DAW to make the shape just fit right so that it's cool. And then and then it's cool. So I think that it's a really nice way to think about 808 bass lines. Not in notes, but just in a continuous line that just does its thing, like a string that is, I don't know how to describe that, but you have seen it in action, so you know what I mean, I guess.